your runners improving throughout the tournament. So they're throwing their best at it today.
And our races are off. Okay, so right away our runners have gone into Cornelia Town. They got themselves a hammer. They're doing a little bit of menuing, and then they are performing the most important glitch to this PSP version. This is the equipment glitch. Kib, do you want to explain the magic part, or shall we do that?
Yeah, okay, right. So they buy a hammer, and then it magically turns into a knight's armor. There you go. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yep.
On a more technical aspect, it's more the weapons and armor all have a certain numbers associated with them in memory. By switching between characters while you have the memory cursor on and going from a weapon to an armor or an armor to a weapon, or even actually like weapon to weapon, armor to armor. The game doesn't know what it's doing. It thinks you're on one character when you're on somebody else, and then weird stuff happens when you do weapon to armor or armor to weapon. Magic.
So essentially, in the game's brain, a hammer is a knight's armor.
Yes, because they share the same memory.
They shouldn't be the same at the same time, because how the hell are you doing that? Says the game, and that is how it works. That's absolutely how everyone would explain it too. I'm having a little bit of a frame rate problem on Sawney's side. That's not your computer going nuts, guys, at home. Sawney's having a bit of a frame drop problem. We might be seeing that through the rest of the race. So enjoy your slideshow.
It's alright, should still be able to see plenty of what's going on here in this early game.
If you see the chaos slide before you see it on Cleric's side, it meant Sawney won.
So here in the Chaos Shrine, we have our second instance of the equipment glitch. If you missed it that first time with the hammer, we're going to turn this leather cap into a judgment staff.
And magic. But this time it actually is magic, because the judgment staff is stuff that improves your intelligence, which is your magic stat. And also you can use it as an item to cast Flare, which is a very powerful fire spell, obviously.
And it's also big and heavy, so we're going to use it to whack Garland, a evil corrupted knight in full plate mail, over the head, and, light bulb greater than full plate.
Did we just lose Cleric as well? This could just be us on our own here, Togu, entertaining the masses.
Right, so you're the rogue, I'm the bard. I'll go grab my loot. I'll go strum us a merry tune, and we'll go find find Dorado City of Gold.
We just need to find like an evil-looking old man in a cave somewhere and beat him up. Perfect. We are Final Fantasy.
Okay, so both of our runners have knocked Garland down before Garland knocked them down. That's the important part. That's good. Run is not dead.
Oh no, I don't know how they would possibly go back to the beginning of this run if they died here. We're so far through.
So after we have rescued the princess from Garland, we return her to the kingdom. She hands us a loot. It's very important that we grab that before we try to leave the castle. Otherwise, she tries to call us back, yelling at us, saying that we forgot this thing. And then she, throws it on our head. And we also get a bridge.
Yeah, notice the best construction job you've ever seen. I've never noticed they're all actually wearing hard hats. Today I learned they're in health and safety in Cornelia.
Well, they're also employing the town guardsmen for to build this thing. So I guess guards.
Oh, are they not hard hats? Maybe they're helmets, not hard hats. Oh, yeah. Damn it.
Well, the guards would then also multi-profession in carpentry and brickwork? Question mark.
And secretly, they actually dress up, and they're in fact the mermaids at the end of the game as well.
Sure, I'll take your word for that. I have not watched the end credits of this game in a long while. I have no idea what happens at the very end of the game.
Yeah, all the mermaids take their tails off and they're like, "Oi, we're also the pirates, so we're going to kill you now for judgment staffing us at the beginning." It's all the same. All the NPCs in this game are played by the same 10 guys.
Final Fantasy 1 is actually Super Mario Brothers 3. It's just all one huge stage play.
Yeah. Well, basically, they were on a really tight budget with this game, right? They couldn't afford extra NPCs. Yeah, just anyone who hasn't heard our commentary before, this guy knows things. I'm just the clown they brought along for the lols because they haven't got enough commentators.
So we missed it earlier, but when we walked on the bridge, we actually had a cutscene, but we were able to skip it because yay, PSP lets us skip cutscenes. Right now, we're trying to make our way from Cornelia Castle to the town of Provoca for our next quest progression, and trying not to be eaten by wolves along the way.
And Sawney appears to now be 2 minutes behind, so we're not sure what's going on with him.
I'm sure he's fine. I'm going to blame the internet on that.
Meanwhile, Cleric is about to beat up the aforementioned soldiers/mermaids/pirates using the judgment staff. So this is the first example of flair that you're going to see. Might be the last, depending on the brute he's using.
No, you'd still use flare even all the way up to Astos. It would be after Astos would be the last time we would see it.
Oh, yeah, we've still
there's
got
a
the Pisca
deviation.
demons. Unless you get 2 Pisca demons. No, because then you still have to beat them up. Yeah, no, ignore Kib. I'll stop trying to be intelligent.
No, that's fine. Yes, so Kib mentioned route deviations here. Cleric is running the older version of the Lust Dagger route known as the White Mage version because, surprise, we have our White Mage casting spells for us. So Cleric ducked in there really quickly to grab a leather shield. He'll need that later to glitch into another item using the equipment glitch. But for right now, we're just going to take this this pirate ship that we wrestled the keys out of from that one pirate in town.
I mean, I think you mean pried from their charred, crispy hands.
Commandeered. I think that's the nautical term. We commandeered this boat. And then Cleric making a quick detour to the town of Elfheim. He's going to grab some gold needles as a safety item for later on because we can run into jerkbirds in the Earth Cave, also known as cockatrices.
GreenCleric uses the same route I do. I'm finally familiar with what's going on.
Sonny is in Provoca doing his shopping shopping. He does this before fighting the pirates because Sonny runs the Black Mage version of the Lust Dagger route. So Cleric doesn't need to do that shopping because he did it earlier in Cornelia. Sonny's route does it because he also has the opportunity to buy ethers, and we don't really need those early potions and antidotes at the start of the game.
Sonny's timer does say 6 minutes, so he may actually be 2 minutes ahead of what we can see currently. Which should be a pretty good time. Oh, GreenCleric getting attacked by some nice early undead here. Most undead things in the game can paralyze you every time they hit you. Paralysis can't KO you, but if all of your party members get paralyzed, you get put into what we call a paralock, which basically means you can't do any actions. And you just have to wait until one of your party members breaks free of the paralock, and then hope that you get a turn before they do. So
it's not the paralysis that kills you. It's not the paralysis that kills you. It's the slowly being mauled to death by the undead that does.
Yeah. Or the losing 5 minutes to waiting for your turn. It's not good for your speedrun when you have to wait for however long. Sonny has fought a shark at some point in the last 2 minutes. and possibly some other things.
Alright, and so now Cleric is on the Piscademon trap tile. So a trap tile is a tile that when you step on it triggers a trap. The trap being, in this instance, a forced encounter with 2 to 4 Piscademons. Cleric doesn't much care how many Piscademons he runs into because White Mage version doesn't have any concerns on EXP for this early game. And we have Judgment Stabs, we can just, blow them up. And with those Piscademons down, we get ourselves a crown from this chest. So that crown is a plot progression item we need to carry on further in this game because a lot of FF1 in this early game is just gated around a lot of this early fetch questing back and forth, getting you to explore this very, very small area because FF1 was an NES-era RPG, memory limitations and those sorts of things there can't really fit a whole lot on a 16-bit cartridge. 16? 8-bit? I don't know.
Are you asking me? I have no idea. 7. I'll say 7. I'll raise you a 7. 7-bit.
I don't know if that would actually be better or worse for memory capacity. That would be actually amazing on an NES cartridge. That would be amazing.
No, we're being asked if this is rando. This is not rando. In fact, this is completely unrandom. There is no RNG in this game at all. It is just what you see before you, which is
total RNG
being destroyed by a random encounter.
This game is random enough as it is.
Yeah,
we don't need to randomize
just the randomness
it further.
that comes naturally.
Yeah. Random enough as is, we don't need to randomize it further. So, with that crown in hand, we make our way to this Western Keep because there's this king in here that said, "Oh no, my crown has been stolen, please get it back for me." And then we hand it back to him and he starts laughing maniacally in our faces. Because, oh no, what's it called?
Oh no!
What's it called? Lowly king sitting in a ruined castle isn't actually a king of the kingdom. Who'da thunk?
Strange that. He's got a really good blue spray tan going on there, though.
Death is not what we want to see, but actually it being on the warrior is actually the best outcome we can ask for because that means the warrior's down and that means the thief and the the mages get a higher share of EXP. So this is actually a lemonade from lemon situation for GreenCleric there because the warrior doesn't actually matter a whole lot. He's mostly there to be a meat shield and facilitate the equipment glitch. The ones that are really important are these mages and the thief.
I imagine GreenCleric will still stop to revive the warrior, though.
Don't need them down quite yet, and we also do need another person to swing a barbarian sword.
Oh, maybe not. If I start explaining that you get a higher chance to run away for however many characters you have, can you continue with the statistics of this? Because I'm aware that having more characters alive makes you more likely to run away. I'm not aware why. This is how it's been run.
It's mostly just the fact that you have an extra body up to do the run chance. What you might be thinking more is what are the odds of a person getting hit by an enemy?
Oh, I know that one as well. Yeah, the person who's first in the party list is 50% chance of getting hit, right?
And
then the second person's 25. And
yes.
then the last two are 12.5, I imagine.
Yep, roughly thereabout.
So,
okay, so it looks like
your warrior up is good.
Warrior is good there to face tank a lot of things there. It looks like Cleric was just waiting for an opportunity where he had to open the menu anyway because...
makes sense.
Since the thief was poisoned right there. Just brought the warrior back up.
And yeah, I imagine that Sawney is somewhere a little bit ahead of Cleric at the moment due to the fact that he had quite an early Piscademons there.
Yeah, I want to say based on that, the timestamp there, I think Sawney was ahead at the trap tile there. But I do know, depending on where Sonny is now, he would have to detour into Elfheim to get
Black Mage
Fyra
Route.
and Thundara for his Black Mage. So that will allow Cleric a little bit of time to catch up and get a pseudo lead, since Cleric can skip that step of the
However, that
journey.
does mean that Sawney probably did not have to go into the town for gold needles earlier. So it kind of evens out in the end.
Sonny would grab the gold needles when he goes into town to buy the black magics. So since you're going to be in the town anyway, just take that detour right then, since you're already in town. Leads are a little bit deceptive here, especially in this early game portion. Route variations aside, there's just a lot that can affect the progress you make, such as being paralocked, how many encounters you run into, the quality of the encounters you get, how quickly you run from them, all sorts of things. So it'll be more telling once we get out of the Earth Cave who truly is in the lead in this race. Back to plot catch up though. We got a crystal eye from beating Astos. We found a witch in a cave. We gave the crystal eye back to her, and she gives us a jolt tonic. More fetch questing. This jolt tonic will be used to get our next progression item, which we have to take all the way back to the Elven Kingdom, which we just were at like a couple minutes ago. Not a whole lot else going on. It's basically just continuing through this long fetch quest chain, so that we can try to open up the world map to us. Yes, as chat pointing out the Jolt Tonic was herb in NES. If I had to guess, I would say we muddled up that herb into a potion and turned it into a Jolt Tonic.
Yeah, it was a herb that gave you a bit of a jolt when you ate it, and so they named it the Jolt herb. So when you grind it up and put it in some tonic water, it's not gin, but it is good with tonic water.
So what you're saying is that Matoya is starting the world's first brewery.
Basically, Matoya gave you a G&T and said, "Take this to the prince, and he'll be fine."
Mm-hmm. So we wake up the prince. He's very angry at us for disturbing his nap, and so he throws a Mystic Key in our face.
Yeah, what he actually tries to do is stab us with the key, but we take it and say, "Thanks, we'll raid your vault now."
Yeah, so running around to the back of this armory here, we're going to grab this Mithril Hammer, and then we have another instance of the equipment glitch where we're going to glitch that into the Thieves' Armlets. The Thieves' Armlets give us a flat +5 to our agility, and we just are glitching, armlets onto not only our arms, but our hands and our head. Because equipment glitch. So that gives us a nice flat +15 to our overall agility. We move very, very early in the turn order, as well as our very favorite to run from a lot of these enemies now.
Yeah, it's much nicer now if you meet some Sahagins on the water. Rather than being stuck there for the next 20 years of your life, you can just say, "Wait, I got some pretty bracelets. You can't catch me."
Cleric will be grabbing a Mithril knife here. We using similar to the leather shield. We'll need that to glitch another item later, and then we grab a nitro powder or TNT while we're here. I'm not sure how long that nitro powder has been sitting in that castle, considering that the key to the vault has been, in another kingdom. So it would be incredibly irresponsible to give this to someone that we knew would probably intend to use it.
Also, thinking about it, why have they got the key to somebody else's vault? Elven
made door?
Yeah, I don't know. That seems not very secure to let your elf kingdom to the south, which we have to admit has recently been taken over by a dark elf who, then ruined the kingdom, and all the time they just had the keys to their vaults, which had a lot of explosives in.
I mean, on the one sense, it is still security because, I mean, even you can't get into that vault in that case. So if you're overthrown, then no one's getting into your precious armory.
I'm not sure why we couldn't just cast flare on the door, to be honest.
But then
right?
We'd also blow up the nitro powder.
Yeah, you got a point there. you think ahead a little bit better than I do. So yeah, someone else who doesn't think ahead, Neric the dwarf, who we've just given our very powerful explosives to. You can see the results in the next cutscene.
I'm sure collapsing a land bridge mass has absolutely zero consequences whatsoever.
Exactly.
Little bit of a rumble, and that section of map is just now gone.
Mm-hmm. And what not many people know is that once Neric the dwarf went home, he found that his house. Well, do dwarfs have houses? What do dwarfs live in? But yeah, it'd been waterlogged and flooded, and his baby son had died in his cradle, and he thought,
that got dark.
Maybe I should have thought before I blew up the world. And that, kids, is a lesson on thinking before you blow things up. Brought to you by Kibetha.
Okay, so back for gameplay. I did see that Sonny did go ahead detour in to grab those black magic spells and gold needles. So timing wise, I was right there. Yeah, Cleric was probably a little bit ahead there if I'm remembering my timestamps correctly, based around when Sonny was there.
Yeah, our footage of Sawney's race is going to get less and less relevant at this rate, because he's now nearly 7 minutes ahead of what we can see.
So Cleric did the most important glitch menu in the game. We went into the town of Melmon, bought ourselves some steel gloves, and then glitched that into a big barbarian sword. It's what's it called? It's a big, very, very big sword. It probably rivals Cloud's Buster sword. It has a 125 base attack and gives you a plus 15 bonus to your strength. So you swing a barbarian sword at anything, it will die very, very quickly. Swing barbarian swords responsibly. And now we are in the Earth Cave. This is not nice dungeon number 1, I think. I don't know, is Marsh Cave not nice?
Nah, Marsh Cave is fine. Unless you're... I think it was Cruel who got paralocked earlier in the tournament in the Marsh Cave, which was really quite impressive.
I don't recall, unfortunately. But yeah, comparatively to the Marsh Cave, which is about probably like the most dangerous place we've been into prior to this, Earth Cave is quite the jump up in difficulty.
This is the first place you can get murdered by encounters. Woo!
Yeah. So Cleric taking a safety save on B3 here because we can run into those cockatrice jerkbirds I mentioned earlier. There's these white ghasts here that are with their paralysis touch. There's wraiths, which are also undead with their paralysis touch. There's
much harder to run away from.
Yes.
And yet, Pisca Demons are back, and they still have the same programming as they did when they were a boss.
They are still very, very angry. They are very, very mad that we killed their brethren in the Marsh Cave. So they don't let us to run. They want to sell that score. But Cleric having a decent walk to the vampire. Vampire is kind of intended to be our next boss of this area. We are just going to introduce him to our friend the Barbarian Sword, and the vampire's dead.
Yeah. Whoa, that was a dangerous boss. It's lucky we survived.
Yeah. And after we beat the vampire, we get ourselves a Star Ruby. And now we have to backtrack our way out of this dungeon because for plot progression reasons, we can't just clear Earth Cave in one go because why? That'd be simple. We have to backtrack our way out, take that Star Ruby, deliver it to a giant, talk to a sage, get a crowbar, come back into the Earth Cave, use that crowbar as a sledgehammer, and then go down 2 more floors before we can actually fight the Lich.
And if only we'd held on to the nitro powder, or even just a little bit of the nitro powder, we could just blast our way in. But no, we had to give it all to the Pyromaniac.
Alright, Cleric making it out of the worst floor of the Earth Cave without too much issue. So
yeah, not a bad Earth Cave there. She says no. Okay, ogres, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, the classic one-step encounter. Everybody's favourite thing in FF1.
Yeah. So, for those that might be maybe familiar with the NES version, NES version has a nice convenient thing called a step route. You can know what encounter group you're going to run into based on which tile you're going to get it on, based on, if you follow a certain walking pattern throughout the overworld. Remakes don't have that little convenience. Remakes of FF1 are completely random in terms of what encounters you're going to get and where. And so, yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you might have a long stretch where you don't have any encounters, and then you might get other times you might get an encounter, every 1 to 3 steps. It's just what part of why this game is just called Total Chaos.
Well, Sawney's just told us that he got to the giant at 27:30. Which is interesting because Cleric timer is not even at 27:30 yet.
They're a little bit ahead of us in terms of the stream there.
Oh, of course, I'm an idiot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Production magic. No, Sony is broadcasting from the future. Yes. Yeah. That's totally what's happening.
About neck and neck right now, guys. We can't show you, but we can tell you.
Oh yeah, so actually, whoa, wow, yeah, actually, this is very, very neck and neck then. So if Sonny's got to giant at 27:30, then Cleric is maybe only about a couple steps behind him. So this should be actually very, very interesting to see then coming out of the Lich.
So yeah, this is random guy in a cave has given us the Earth Rod, which means we can now get down to Lich. So the big bads, so to speak, as far as FF1's plot goes, are the 4 fiends of the element, who are, I believe, corrupting the crystals in some interesting fashion that is never really explained unless you talk to a bunch of sages in a random place halfway across the world from the beginning. So yeah, first thing we're going to do is take care of the Earth Fiend.
They explain it. They just don't explain it well.
Oh yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't understand what was going on at all until I found the canoe people, and then I was like, oh, they gave me a canoe, and didn't really care what they were saying.
No, yeah, they explain something like how because the light is being drained from the crystals, and the crystals are the things that cause balance throughout the whole world as a whole, and mystical blah 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 blue.
Yeah, I was going to say crystal blah blah blah, magic blah blah blah, light blah blah blah.
Yeah, basically.
Yep, that sounds like Final Fantasy.
Yeah. No, Final Fantasy 1 in particular is not what's it called? Very, very well rehearsed in the lore aspect of this one. That one there. It was very.
It was at the very beginning of when games started to have stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really think that was necessary back then. It was all fine.
No, there's a. This is very much a D&D adventure on a stick. There is a very, very loose overarching story and MacGuffins of plot. Holding everything together with discount duct tape.
Yeah, exactly. MacGuffin, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, an actual story with relevant plot and motivation was more FF2's thing when they first tried doing that. But anyway, so both of our runners presumably back making their second trip to through the Earth Cave now, and Cleric, taking that other safety save. Once again, trying not to run into any bad stuff.
Yep, still not seen any jerk birds, which is great. Though we've got another floor of them to go.
Mm-hmm. That was a very, very good floor 3, I think. No encounters?
I think 1.
Maybe 1. Okay.
Still going pretty speedy.
Mm-hmm.
Floor 4, I was about to say doesn't usually give you very many encounters, but when they do, they can be pretty savage.
Well, the nice thing about the fourth floor, the nice thing about the fourth floor is that there's a couple of additional monster formations you can run into, so it kind of dilutes the danger. Not a whole lot, but it does.
I never quite understand. Some of them are just really random as well. They just look like they picked every monster you could get so far and just chucked them all together. Which probably is what happened, to be honest.
Well, it's actually funny because I think in NES actually, from when they brought it over from the Famicom version, one of those encounter groups actually changed. There was like a monster that was added in there that doesn't show up in Famicom.
So yeah, we've just got to Lich. You'll notice Cleric taking a safety save there. That's for a very good reason. There is about 50% chance that Lich is going to use for his first move, Blizzara, which is an AoE that does about 100 to 150 damage on everyone. If you take a look at our max HP, it's not 150. Even if we heal to full, we have no guarantee of surviving. So we don't bother, we just save beforehand and then kill it as quickly as we can.
Yes, and Lich did take a turn there because even with all of our agility here, he can actually still take turns, surprisingly, before we do. But he decided to physical, so Cleric got lucky there, was able to beat Lich in one go. And meanwhile, Sawney looks like he did a 15 puzzle.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. So, 15 puzzle is a minigame that exists on the ship. Of course, because of the internet issues he's experiencing, I can't actually verify what prize he got. But there, the reason why some runners go do this 15 puzzle is because
they're stupid.
Because if you finish in second place, I'm a puzzle player. If you finish in second place, there is a 1 in 6 chance of getting an item known as an emergency exit. This is a one-time consumable item which casts the spell Exit, and it will instantly take you out of a dungeon. So if you recall when Cleric was doing that backtrack after Vampire and obtaining the Star Ruby, if you have an emergency exit, you can just use that and then skip that whole process.
Also, can confirm Sawney has just beaten Lich in 33-37. He's keeping us updated when he can. So he's about 20 seconds behind Cleric.
I think with cutscenes, actually, that's about a simultaneous Lich finish. I think. Just thereabout.
I mean, I assume he meant the fight, not after the cutscenes.
Oh.
But yeah, they're pretty close. I think Cleric had a fairly good Cavern of Earth there, which made a bit of a difference.
So they are definitely what's it called? They are definitely, pulling out all the stops for this game 5.
Yeah, both of them doing their very best, even if we can't see. Yeah, anyone who didn't know, this is the semi-final match, and it's a best of 5, and we're on match 5. So this is the one that chooses who goes through to the grand finals.
What happened is that they had 4 warm-up games, and then now the semifinals was actually a best of 1 the entire time.
Yeah, this is the only one that matters. The others were pointless, and they shouldn't have bothered. They wasted everybody's time, including their own.
Well, they made Yoshi excited because they wanted to see 5 matches.
Yeah, Yoshi just raced through and through. Raced. You see that pun there?
Mm-hmm.
Best pun ever. Great humor. Anyway, right. Cleric has left the Earth Cave, got on his boat again, and is heading over to the new area, which is Crescent Lake. I mentioned the sages earlier who bothered telling you about the story. We're going to go visit them briefly. But first, we need to do a bit of menuing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have to get into the town first and not, be stabbed by these scorpions over and over again.
Which almost everything around here poisons you, which is, not really a problem, but it does waste a lot of time.
Yeah, because let's see, what is trying to kill you here? Snakes, giant scorpions, giant centipedes.
I think there's spiders as well.
Some spiders, giants, giant minotaurs.
Giants, as opposed to the small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. Cleric is doing a little bit of selling stuff. This looks like pointless stuff that he's selling. It's partly for money and partly for a bit of inventory management, so that everything goes in the right spots and he can grab it later, nice and quickly and easily. And then he's grabbing a couple of things for equipment glitches, and he's going to glitch himself some more agility equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with those mithril axe, we're going to glitch the black garb into our inventory. This gives us a +10 bonus to our agility rather than the +5 from the thieves' armlets, so upgrades. And then with that mithril gloves, we're going to put this little nifty item called the lust dagger into our mage's weapon slot. The lust daggers will additionally give us +20 agility and evasion, and thus making our mages much more consistent in going first in the turn order as well as running away from baddies. You'll notice that we didn't put those equipments onto our warrior. That's because due to the nature of the equipment glitch, we need to have somebody that can equip the item normally before we put a glitched item into another person's inventory, and unfortunately the warrior is the only one who can equip all those things. The mithril gloves and the mithril axe.
Yeah, also, we're gonna kill him off in a minute, so, not really worth it.
It's not killing, he's, he dropped his contact, and... He's
lying really close to the floor so that he can find it, for the next 20 minutes.
He's trying to do push-ups by pushing the earth down.
Yeah.
He's doing some major strength training.
He's doing some face strength training. What you can't see is that he's trying to use his nostrils to push himself up. He's blowing out air really hard. We haven't even killed him yet. We're trying to make jokes about this. So I like that Cleric has named his characters after various people. I think it's me and you as well as the runners, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's done that every single race.
Involved in the race. And he's named himself and Sawney as the characters that he's about to murder. I feel he could have chosen someone other than himself as the main person who's going to spend the race dead. But
here's the funny thing about that is that every single race of Cleric I've seen, he's always named himself the warrior and not the thief. The one that deals the most amount of damage and is the biggest damage dealer towards the end of the game.
Mages who stay alive for the whole run. Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I think it's probably shows something about the self-perception of our runner here. Very humble. Doesn't mind being dead. Right, so we're now in the Cavern of Ice. We were in the Cavern of Earth earlier, and now we're in the Cavern of Ice, but we're not about to fight an Ice Fiend. We are, however, about to fight basically everything else.
Mm-hmm. This is a not nice place. There's just a lot here that kill you. You'll notice if you've caught it earlier, Cleric took a safety save at the start of this cave. That is, what's it called? For safety, because... let's see, what can kill you here.
I think we should wait for them to introduce themselves. This is what I like doing as commentator. Just wait until they turn up.
Well, let's see. Well, he's already run into Spectre Race. He's already run into Cockatrice Mummy. Bloodbolt.
There's some rarer things here that we're hoping that he doesn't see, because that's what the safety save is for. There's a couple of things that can just one-shot your party. Luckily, they're a bit rarer.
Yeah. Bloodbones and Centipedes I don't mind naming because they're one of the few things that won't just outright kill you. They just deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, we've had a couple of runners who've been murdered by things in the Cavern of Ice during this tournament. Not naming names, but it was not pleasant to watch for anyone involved. So hopefully Cleric gets doing another safety save there just to make sure. Mm-hmm. That's pretty smart in my opinion. It's a very quick thing to do to save, and it's also very quick to get murdered. So
those Mind Flayers will absolutely murder you.
If they get the chance, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mind Flayers might look like Piscademons. They're far worse.
They're like Piscademons' really angry big brother. Like,
they also like to.
You've been talking crap about our little brothers.
They also like to slip your brains out, so that's a thing.
Yeah. Like, you insult my brother, I suck your brain out. I mean, this is only fair, obviously. So yeah, noticing Sawney's thief, Cleric's thief, Sawney. Little bit high HP there, but should still be murderable.
No, that's still within a Thundara range, but yeah. I is not cooperating.
No, what we're trying to do here is get the warrior and the thief murdered, which is why they're under 70 HP there, because Thundara does about 70 damage. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Eyeball.
I'm pretty sure I went through all 4 versions of Gaze before he actually got Thundara.
So if you're lucky, he'll cast Thundara first turn, take out your warrior and thief, and then you're good to go. So what we're doing here is we're going to have a grind on this spike tile, which gives you the Evil Eye every time. The Evil Eye is quite slow, so we can outspeed him. Quite low HP, so we can murder him with 1 hit from the Lust Dagger, and gives a great amount of XP. So we're going to grind our mages for a bit.
Yep. I gives about 3,200 EXP, and EXP is split amongst all living party members. So by temporarily dirt napping the warrior and the thief, instead of splitting that EXP 4 ways, we split it just 2 ways amongst our mages, giving us about 1,600 EXP apiece. That means our mages get like a level every 1 to 2 eyes, so they will level up very, very quickly.
And luckily, in this version of the game, we don't have to level up too high. We only need to get to level 18. Putting them on ice. That is a nice pun we've got from Toxic there. Thank you. Yes. We have iced our warrior and our thief.
So just swinging those Lust Daggers. Eye doesn't really get a turn in with all of the agility equipment we have.
Oh yeah, we will definitely be bringing them back later. We're just giving our mages a chance to get big and swole. Then we'll bring him back. We're bringing the thief back here first because he needs the levels more than the warrior does.
Mm-hmm. As previously mentioned, the warrior is mostly there just to be an HP sponge and facilitate the equipment glitch. The warrior will naturally get the HP he'll need for the rest of the run, even with being several levels down. The thief we want to bring back up because we want to try and see if we can get him to level 15 by the time we beat Marilith, the Fiend of Fire. This will allow the thief, once he's turned into a ninja, to be able to cast the black magic spell Haste, which, if we get, is nice, and it will save us a turn of setup on the final Chaos fight. Not 100% needed, it's just nice to see that if we can get it.
How high did level 9 grinding need to be in the middle? Wow, I'm so good at English. How high did level grinding need to be in the original? I think both me and Toku have played the GBA version. Toku's played it a couple of times. He's not very good though. And yeah, you have to grind to 31 in that one, I believe.
Yeah, it varies depending on which route. Yeah,
You're really
it's like
good at 15 puzzle.
Yeah,
which
so
I wasn't.
You can still get good time in White Mage though. I've gotten like low 230 with White Mage. Yeah, so it's White Mage if you do GBA is about 31. Monk route, you just kill a flat 30 eyes. That will put you at about 23, 24 on average. NES, you don't even bother trying to grind here because the eye will just straight up murder you. PlayStation 1, you do grind here, and I think you go to... I want to say it's level 17, 18, because you want to be by like level 20 by the time you hit the end of the run, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I've yet to play the PlayStation 1 version.
I mean, it's for the spells, right? At least it isn't GBA and PSP. It's you have to be a certain level before you can buy certain spells. Because we can glitch the ridiculous intelligence gear, we use Healara instead of Healaga for the end of the game in PSP, which saves us a good 13 levels, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. It was kind of jarring the first time I saw that on PSP, and I was just like, why is this White Mage healing with Healara the same amount of HP I do with Healaga being like nearly twice its level?
Did you feel a little bit of envy then?
A little bit. Not gonna lie, there's a bunch of things in PSP that I wish I had in GBA that would just make my life completely easier. Not even equipment glitch, just like, let me fast forward through animations, let me skip cutscenes.
Please let me skip the bridge cutscene. So while we were chatting about a game that the runners aren't running, what's happened is GreenCleric has picked up the Levy Stone that was next to the spike tile he was grinding on, and the Levy Stone has magically summoned an airship from out of the desert. And we've got that airship, and it's opened up some areas for us, including a little tile next to a forest. Problem with the airship, you can only land on non-forest, non-marsh tiles. But this means that we can now get to the Citadel of Trials. What's in the Citadel of Trials? A rat's tail. Yes, we're going all the way there for a rat's tail.
Sawney also updating us that he picked up his airship at 47:17, so Cleric is a little bit ahead now, having a bit of a head start into the Citadel.
But again, not too far apart.
No,
Sawney also told us that he survived a paralock during the Cavern of Ice, which is great news because I think we've mentioned before, paralocks can be extremely dangerous and can make you lose a lot of time. But he's still pretty close behind. We still got a race in our hands.
No, yeah, 30 seconds in this game is the difference between, one bad encounter between our racers, all things being equal, so...
Especially in the final dungeon.
Yeah, a 30-second lead is nothing in this game. Even like a minute is not necessarily safe, depending on where you're at in the game.
I would say even 5 minutes isn't safe sometimes.
Yeah, there've been Total Chaos has lived up to its name this whole tournament. We've seen
It really has.
strange things happen in terms of races. We've seen runners come back from 4-minute deficits to clinch out a victory in the end in very, very close fashion.
So, Cleric here having to fight these nightmares. You can run away from them, but it's extremely unreliable to even bother trying. And we've got these nice barbarian swords, so we can just one-shot things. So what's the point of running away when you can just boost things? Yeah,
kind of a testament to how fast enemies are is that if you still have difficulty running from them with all of this broken equipment gear that we put on, and you still have a hard time running, those enemies are probably pretty fast, and it will usually be faster to end up just killing them.
Yep.
So Cleric grabbed those gauntlets very quickly. He'll need those for a glitch later on, and then before picking up this rat tail.
I believe the gauntlets are for using for Thundara in this shrine. What do we glitch with the gauntlets?
Gauntlets will glitch into the golden staff at the end before the chaos fight, which is you put onto the white mage so that she has not only an intelligence boost from the golden staff of plus 20 intelligence, it also means that she doesn't have a lust dagger on, so that's less agility she has.
I honestly didn't know that.
Have you just been muscle memorying it the whole time when you were doing the route?
I speed run things by doing, not thinking. You know?
Yeah.
Do as do, think as think, and people who think and do probably get world records, like you, for example.
One other thing to touch upon, actually, that since we haven't actually covered this yet, have we? Is that why is Cleric going all of his way to get all of these additional additional items that when Sonny can just buy magic? It's to recap. Cleric picked up a leather shield, a mithril knife, and the gauntlets. We glitched that leather shield into a mage's staff. We glitched that mithril knife into a black robe, not to be confused with the black garb. And as Kid previously mentioned, the gauntlets cast Thundara. The mage's staff casts Fyra, and the black robe casts Blizzara. And so with these three items, Cleric can use his white mage to use them in combat to cast Fyra, Thundara, and Blizzara to kill large groups of enemies without having to resort to the Judgment Staff. Now, you might be wondering, why do we go out of our way to get all those items to cast these spells when we have a Judgment Staff that casts Big Boom Flare? That's because Flare has a very long animation associated with it. It's about 8 seconds long. And with all the intelligence boosting gear, we'll likely kill whatever we have to fight anyway, even using a weaker spell like Fyra, Thundara, or Blizzara. But those spells have a much shorter cast animation compared to Flare. So anytime you do have to cast a spell, you end up saving just a few bit of seconds over the course of the run, because if you had the Judgment Staff everything, that can add up to literal minutes. And Sonny has also informed us that he had a really, really good Citadel, and so was only about 5 seconds behind Cleric going into class change. So once again, our runners neck and neck with each other. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just ignore the stream in front of your faces that's telling you that he's like 10 minutes behind. So we get back on our airship, finding another conveniently placed grass isle. And we're heading into this caravan in the desert, where the first and only thing we can buy is this fairies bottle. So we have to get that to get the giant's tonics, but I'm sure the fairy will be useless anyway. We don't really need it.
Well, the fairy was put in there by a pirate that's actually still in this little town. So we're just doing the lawful good, just thing and releasing the fairy.
But,
or is it chaotic good?
We're not expecting to get anything out of it at all. Definitely.
If we were expecting anything, that would be chaotic good, I think.
No. We bought it, right? So that's definitely lawful. If we just nicked it because they were keeping a fairy in a bottle and we thought that was wrong, then we beat up the shopkeeper and then took the fairy. I feel that would be more chaotic good. You can tell I'm pretty good at chaotic good.
That sounds more like lawful evil.
No, because you wouldn't be following the law because you'd be beating up the shopkeeper. But you'd be
right,
doing
if we
something
bought
that you
it,
thought
we'd
is
be lawful evil.
Lawful good if you then release the fairy. Lawful evil if you then were like, oh, I've got a fairy slave. Hell yeah. Anyway, we released the fairy, however we obtained the fairy, and the fairy has just given us the oxtail, which means we can now breathe underwater, which is pretty convenient.
Mm-hmm. And welcome to the volcano, where every speedrunner demonstrates that they are absolutely terrible at the game The Floor is Lava. So, the thing about lava tiles is that when you step on them, you take a point of damage, but lava tiles don't generate an encounter count. So, in the speedrun, we go out of our way to step on as many lava tiles as possible so that we don't get random encounters.
Unfortunately, as you can imagine, that does actually cause us to take some damage, weirdly enough. When you walk around on lava, it hurts. So as you can see, Cleric's just stopping to heal up halfway because you can get some encounters here that can AoE your party. So if your whole party are on 1 HP, the lava can't kill you, but it can bring you down to 1 HP, which is not a nice situation to be in if you are then ambushed by something that can cast fire.
Lava won't quite kill you, but it's the enemy that will punch you in the face after you've stepped off the lava
Yeah.
that will.
It's like the enemy's wingman. You know, it'll bring you down to 1 HP so that the enemy can finish you off and get the kill. It's an assist. It's an assist kill. Is Sawney playing via PowerPoint? Yes, we think he might well be. He keeps giving us updates, but maybe he's lying and he's just actually putting some screenshots of his previous runs on a PowerPoint slide.
So that was Merilith, the Fiend of Fire. We just swung our Barbarian Sword a couple of times, and yeah, she was down.
And Sawney has just killed Merilith at 56:10. So again, about 20 seconds behind now.
Yeah. Again, very, very close between our two runners. Very, very exciting for this game 5, even though we unfortunately can't see half of it.
Yeah, it's a shame that we can't see this ridiculously exciting.
No, yeah, I know. This would be really, really good to see. If it's like if well, fortunately, our runners should also be local recording, just in case of issues like this, so we can always verify their footage. So maybe we can, if you were to take both, what you do is you find both of their local recordings if they've saved it on the Twitch VOD, or if they upload it somewhere else like YouTube. Play them side by side, and you can experience this exact same thing. Only you'll be actually able to see what's going on.
Yeah. We're not going to do the commentary again for you, though. You'll just have to remember that part.
Yeah. So Cleric ducked into Elfheim, bought himself Blizzara and haste for his not Blizzara, haste for his Black Mage. I don't think the ninja was level 15 yet to buy the haste there, so did not get that.
Or
and then
he's
we're gonna
using my notes, in which case I don't even suggest doing so, because I think it's just generally a waste of time.
It can help, but yeah, it's not something that racers will intentionally go out of their way to set up, because
you can get to the end of the game and not be able to use it anyway, so it can just be a waste of time.
Yeah. Sawney famously in game 4 actually got to chaos, and his ninja had 14 MP out of the 15 needed to cast the haste.
Nice. Perfect.
But fortunately, he had a good heads-up play. He had a Hermes shoes off of the 15 puzzle that he saved from all the way in the beginning of the game, and so was able to use that to haste his ninja and save the turn anyway.
Good play. Very good play.
Yeah. And GreenCleric was able to beat the menu boss.
The other spell that Green got there was Teleport, which allows you to go down a floor in a dungeon. So we will be making use of that to get around the Sunken Shrine, because it's got quite a lot of floors, pretty sprawled out, weird, lots of treasure chests that some of them are useful. So we'll be navigating a bit faster via Teleport.
Teleport, very useful. It just saves, I think every single instance we use it saves at least a minute or so in backtracking, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you also factor in that during that minute you're walking on the floor, you can get random encounters like this unrunnable Sahagin Prince Chief encounter. That actually does save you a bunch of time, because you save a minute by teleporting, or you lose 3 minutes trying to make your way to the stairs by walking. Very very nice payoff for having just to get the spells. So Cleric has made his way to the Mermaid's floor, and we pick up a Rosetta Stone. This is a quest progression item. We'll need to access the last dungeon of the game. One of 2 items we need, and then we put that teleport spell to use. Don't have to loop back around the Mermaid's floor, and one more time, just teleport back to the 3rd floor, and now we're back at the start of the dungeon. So, Sea Shrine, we have to go up to the 5th floor and then climb back down. So, Cleric getting, I think it was a 2 or 3 step encounter there. That's not nice, game. Please stop doing that. Yeah. So, at this late point of the game, the Final Fantasy 1 is very much a back half loaded run. We hit go mode a lot earlier than we would in version that wouldn't have the equipment glitch, but pretty much after the level grind is where we really pick up all the action and start blitzing our way through the end game. We do have
another unrunnable encounter, the ghosts, who are weak to fire, so we're just using our major staff to cast fire at that.
Fire gets a lot of use in the run just because of you wouldn't think it, but there's actually quite a lot of undead enemies in this game. So
also very silly that there are enemies weak to fire underwater.
Well, it's also weird that the water elementals are weak to ice, not thunder.
I mean, I've always thought that kind of makes sense, because if it's made of water, you can freeze it. And what's it going to do when it's frozen? Not a lot.
Yeah, but Pokemon logic. and then you confuse Pokemon logic and Mega Man logic, and you have trust issues after that.
Yeah, no one's quite decided what element is weak to what. I can't imagine why. It might be because in real life, elements aren't weak to any other elements.
Yeah.
Except fire and water.
Yeah. So Cleric picked up this light axe, and he's using that to glitch the survival vest onto his party, also doing a little mixture of survival vests and lordly robes onto the white mage. So, kind of continuing the trend of anytime we glitch armor, it's to improve the stats we already have. The survival vests give us a plus 15 bonus to our agility per survival vest we have on, and we just stack at least 3 of them onto each of our party members. We also put lordly robes onto our white mage to give her a plus 15 to her intelligence. So she's rocking a lot of bonus intelligence, which means her spells are going to hit very, very hard. And then with all of those survival vests, our party moves very early in the turn order and runs away very, very quickly.
Yeah, and the black mage in this route also has got 4 survival vests on, rather than, I think it's 2 or 3 in the other route.
Yeah, so
just a little bit more agility, run a little bit faster.
Yeah, another route variation, because Sony is running the Black Mage version instead of the White Mage that Cleric is using. The Black Mage route, you would do the setup that Cleric did on his White Mage with a mix of survival vests and lordly robes onto the Black Mage, and then what you would stagger, because she doesn't have as much agility. She might go last in the turn order, but because intelligence also factors into the run chance, she can still fairly reliably run away from random encounters.
And last thing last, we're heading into another Fiend fight. This is Kraken. Fiend Water. As you can tell, he's terrifying and a real challenge for our runners. Yeah, we just made calamari out of him.
Yeah, Kraken didn't even get a turn for Cleric there. Kraken in a glitchless playthrough in a casual setting would be a little bit terrifying, because his strongest attack is his physical attacks. Being an octopus, he hits 8 attacks per round. In the PSP version, however, we have so much armor stacked on because of the equipment glitch that those attacks do pretty much 1 damage per hit. And we also have a lot of agility, so he sometimes doesn't even get all 8 hits.
And Sawney has updated us. He's got a 104.32 Kraken victory. So again, about 30 seconds behind now. Lost a little bit of time. But yeah, still very close behind.
No, yeah, it's still 30 seconds behind this late into the run is very, very good for a close race. This is what we want to see for this game 5. Consistent neck and neck racing throughout here. So if this keeps up,
we remind you that you can lose up to 5 minutes in the final dungeon alone. So and like a whole minute on Chaos if Chaos decides to be a bit of a butt. So yep, all still to play for.
Yeah. Yeah, so this might, if this keeps up, this will come down to a Chaos Shrine equalizer. Like the closest races we've seen in this tournament have essentially come down to what does Chaos's AI decide to do. Hi, Bat.
Total chaos. Funny that. So, welcome to the Waterfall Cavern. There's a lot of caverns in this game. But yeah, this has got like the highest encounter level in the game. So we're going to see a lot of encounters. Most of them are nightmares and golems, so not a lot of variety. Only one unrunnable here.
We're also going to bump into bats a lot because NPCs that take up 2 tiles until they've settled into the tile that they're going to in 1 tile wide corridors is incredible game design.
Yep, definitely. It's almost like it wanted to be annoying.
Yeah, and unlike the NES version, remakes don't have a friendly out of bounds bat, so we can't even say hi to him.
Friendly out of bounds bat?
Yeah, there. You didn't know?
No.
No.
Tell me of the friendly out of bounds bat.
So in NES version, if you look toward the bottom left-hand corner outside this treasure chest room, there is a bat that can spawn out of bounds, and he is our best friend because he would just be out there in the blue background of the waterfall cavern, and he is out of our way, so he can't possibly block our path. So he is our best friend out of bounds bat.
Oh, and he'll never get to meet any other friendly bats. He's stuck out there on his own. Poor little. Me? Have we lost both our runners? Or is my internet being done?
No, Cleric's still going. Sonny, I think, hung up for a little bit there, but both of our runners still going strong here.
I think my internet's having some problems. Super professional here at Kib Streams.
Alright, so with that trip to the Waterfall Cavern done, where we picked up a ribbon, we make our way back to the town of Melmond. We're going to talk to Dr. Un and show him this Rosetta Stone. And then he teaches us how to dance the Macarena, and we learn how to speak Bolfinian. And then we teleport out so we don't have to walk back out of town.
We're very lazy. It's only a few steps away. But, you know, faster.
And then we have the dreaded walk to Lufenia because we have to go all the way up to this one plain grass tile that's out in the middle of all this forest, and then have to walk this long peninsula with all the encounters along the way.
Yeah, and if you see a Minotaur zombie, you can't run. They can be with a bunch of other things, but it doesn't matter. You can't run from Minotaur zombies. So you just pray the entire time. You're not going to see any of those.
Yes. So a little bit of, since we have a little bit of downtime here for through this walk, one thing I will touch upon for when we were at the Waterfall Cavern and we picked up the ribbon, we did have another instance of the equipment glitch where we turned that ribbon into a Gigantaxe. And then with that Gigantaxe in our inventory, glitch that into additional ribbons for the rest of our party. So the nice thing about the PSP version is we only have to grab that one ribbon rather than having to go out of our way to detour and grab the other 2 that are in the vanilla game. Yes, there's only 3 total ribbons in vanilla.
They are pretty powerful though, so that would be why there's only 3 of them.
Yeah, but we have 4 party members.
Well, I know, but you wouldn't want to be completely immune to everything, would you? That would be far too powerful and would make a very easy speedrun.
But status ailments suck! So Cleric got the chime from the Lufenians here in the town, teleported out, and then promptly got ambushed by ice wolves. Fortunately, was able to make his way out without too much issue there. Although it still looks like some of these wolves decide to follow him.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's so many ice wolves right now. And still no Minotaur zombies, I don't think.
That's what we want to see.
That's exactly what you want to see.
I told you to
Take that, GreenCleric!
I mean, I statistically have a little bit worse than a 1 in 6 chance of seeing a Warmech when I'm on comms, but you don't see me announcing that to the world.
I'm gonna complain about the lack of Warmech and see what happens. Did
Well,
you just get another one? I
Yes.
was looking away. Wow, wow. Okay, I have a superpower that I did not know I have. And then there's the little known surfing Minotaur zombie.
Yeah, so quick airship ride into this desert. Hi, Sandworm. That's a 3 in 64 encounter.
Ooh, nice.
And we make our way into the Mirage Tower. Mirage Tower, very, very dangerous, especially for this first floor. We don't know, and it's done.
Yeah,
First
Mirage
floor.
Tower again is not too dangerous, but lots of encounters. We're gonna be here for a little while, considering how.
Oh, I just
small the
noticed
place
Sonny
is.
stream caught up.
Oh, nice! So now we know where Sony actually is.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it looks like Sonny is making his way back to the his airship there. So yeah, Cleric has about a minute or so lead on
Guys.
Sonny right now.
We have a race. It's amazing. And just in time for the special guest.
I should note that there is a gentleman's agreement between our racers there. Both of them will safety save, and Cleric has stated that if Sonny gets to floor 5 first and sees a Warmech, he'll do whatever Sonny does if he sees a Warmech, whether flee or fight. But yeah, both of them have a gentleman's agreement. They're safety saving on the Bridge of Destiny. And
I thought you were going to say they had a gentleman's agreement that they were going to, forfeit the game if the other one gets a warm-up. Because that's what an honourable man would do. If
they
Warmech
have an
turns up-
agreement that they're going to do the same thing if they run into a Warmech.
No. If Warmech turns up, that's the winner. I don't care who gets to the end first. So yeah, guys, there is a beautiful robotic creation that walks the halls of the Flying Fortress. Only walks on floor 5 because it likes to be above us poor mortal men. And his name is Warmech. And the chances of running into him are only 1 in 64. That is 60 and 4. And he's very, very rare, but just only as rare as some other rare encounters. But he's much more special because he is the Warmech. And we will see if GreenCleric can summon him and fulfill his destiny as the true winner of this semi-final.
I would like to point out that statistically we have seen more Warmechs than Tyrannosauruses, which are also a 1 in 64 encounter, so take that what you will.
He's not that rare, secretly. I would personally prefer to have iron golems because I've never seen them.
No,
No, I mean, Warmech is the most rare and wondrous creature you will ever see. I don't know why I've got a Warmech voice going on here. This is my Warmech voice.
that's
So
okay.
here we go,
I can't do
4-5.
voices to save my life.
Was that a save? That wasn't a save, that was a heal. There was no save there. What is this gentleman's agreement?
I think it's because the Cleric is ahead right now, so he's got to see what.
What a gentleman! Breaking the gentleman's agreement.
He could have plumb forgot. This was like 2 days ago. This was like 2 days ago. He could have plumb forgot.
gentleman never forgets. Looks like Sawney's caught up some time there, I think.
It will depend on what yeah, so actually, pacing-wise, still about the same there, but this is still within what's called arm's reach, effectively, for catching up there. As soon as we're in the Chaos Shrine, all bets are off. So
second attempt at Warmack. No, black plans. Come on, Sawney, you can do it. You can do it. No, Fire Hydras are not Warmacks. We do still have one last attempt by these runners. A couple of tiles up to the teleport tile. If they're really feeling ambitious and like they want to be blessed by Warmack, they can run in circles around the crystal a couple of times.
That's the Black Mage taking a temporary dirt nap. Yeah, so Sawney broadcasting at us from the future, letting us know when his Tiamat victory was. So yeah, still maintaining about a minute gap between our runners here. So
which is absolutely nothing as we go into the Chaos Shrine, which lives up to its name. In fact, I think probably that first floor with the White Dragon ambushes that are possible. It is possible for this lead to change hands, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. So here in the Chaos Shrine, we have this little bit cutscene with this hooded figure trying to do his best Kool-Aid Man impression by trying to burst through this wall. It doesn't really work out all that well, so he just magics the door instead and walks through. That was a bonus dungeon that was added to the PSP version of the game. It's not actually where the final boss is. You have to go back into the original chamber you fought Garland, and then shine the crystals in front of this little orb. That opens this little bowl at the bottom, and then you jump into it, and you go 2,000 years into the past.
I like how you just left that at the end. You go 2,000 years into the past, as you do.
Because Final Fantasy 1 plot logic.
So, first and most important thing that GreenCleric is going to do here, safety save. Because on this floor, there are double dragons. There they are! They like to come when they're cooled, or when they're not cooled, or when you are straight up running away from them. Those guys can ambush you, and they have a big AoE attack, which will take down your team eventually. So, the less you see of those, the better. Ice Gigas and Winter Wolves. You've seen lots of Winter Wolves on Greenside, but Ice Gigas have a little bit more HP, which is why he's having to use the Judgment Staff there.
Yep. So those kinds of encounters are what you don't want to see when you're in the lead, because unrunnable encounters means you have to stop and fight them. Stopping and fighting them wastes time.
But unfortunately, a lot of the things in the Chaos Shrine are unrunnable.
Oh, Sawney, what's it called? Going all in, not even safety saving on the first floor. Nope.
Ooh.
No, this is classic Sawney right here.
I was gonna say we had a little chat with Sawney about saving before this race. And,
no, this is this is classic Sawney here. When he what's it called? If he determines that he needs to go all in, he goes all in. He's not gonna safety save for anything at this point until he's confident he's back in the lead.
Oh, I hate watching runners who don't safety save. It makes me so nervous.
I mean, actually, when a race this close, I still would take those safety saves, especially when if the lead can flip on a dime. At one bad wipe and it's all over. At least with a safety save, you can hope that if your opponent has a bad wipe too, then they're set back just a bit as well.
Also, this is the time in the race where I like to take a look at what is going on with the HP pools of both the runners, Black Mage and Ninja, because that is starting to be important. We've got a little bit lower HP on Cleric's side than Sawney's side.
Sawny is at about 250 and 200 for the ninja and the black mage. Cleric is at 230, 240, and 180. So about one strong level up's worth of HP difference.
That's going to make a difference mostly when we get to Chaos at the end. And probably only for about the first turn. But yeah, that can cause a wipe to Chaos, which of course could cause a reset. Or in Sawney's case, if he doesn't safety save, could cause it to be over.
Question, what are the requirements for a tie? An incredible amount of coincidental luck to finish on effectively the same second, which would
both
then...
of them are local recording, I imagine then it would get retimed and unless it was like a photo finish. Basically, it's extremely unlikely that a tie would happen.
I think in the event of... I'm actually pulling up the rules document here. Let's see if there's... If under the extreme unlikelihood you actually finish in a tie... Okay, there is what happens if both racers fail to finish a race.
Yeah, it's so unlikely that I don't imagine it'll happen. Probably it'll be negotiated if it were to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice, clean Lich fight. Lich, of course, can cast Flare. That being the first enemy we've seen who really can cast Flare and mess us up. You know, that spell that we've been casting since the beginning. But we're not seeing it, which is great.
Got the good turn order too. The haste went onto the ninja before the ninja took his turn.
Let's hope Sawney can get just as clean a Lich. Both runners getting relatively good encounter luck.
Oh, Sawney, please stop. At least if you're not gonna save, at least please stop and heal before the Lich. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for at least doing that.
Nervous. Okay, yeah, his ninja's starting to get a bit further up towards that 300 kind of area that we want to be in.
Although we're not... Unless we start getting a bunch of unrunnable encounters to force EXP, I don't think we're going to get much more in terms of levels by the end of it. So this is pretty much shaping up to be what our final HP totals are going to be.
So probably Giant's Tonics all round. Sonic? Oh, some fire elementals there. That's pretty rare.
Oh boy. Chaos Shrine doing what Chaos Shrine does best.
Usually, that's a fairly safe floor because there's only the 1 in 32, I think, fire elementals. Most of the things on that floor are runnable.
Yeah, the fire elementals are the only one. Red dragon.
Red dragon, fire dragon,
yeah.
fiery red dragon, ginger dragon.
Let's go with that, ginger dragon.
Kraken is just as much of a pushover, but takes a little bit longer to kill than last time.
Because more HP.
In a way, I'm hoping that GreenCleric runs into something that gives him some trouble here, just so that we can have a bit of a closer race.
Well, Tiamat does have a floor full of purple worms and vampires and dragon zombies and supposedly iron golems live here, but this tournament we've only seen one runner run into those, so...
Yep. Yoshi, the master of the golems.
Have we has the petition gone through to name those Yoshi golems yet? Have we gotten that through?
I'm more than willing to call them Yoshi golems. Oh, we've lost Toku on green side.
I'm fine. I'm just saving my energy for
Toku.
chaos.
I will attend your funeral.
I'm not dead, actually. I feel fine. I'm happy. Happy.
That's not what your HP says. We're still putting you in the ground. Sorry.
Okay, well, Cleric's off the danger floor, so it just needs to make sure it does all the final preparations.
One last revive. Some ethers. Healing up to full.
Remembering to ether up the white mage, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, good point. That's some good 11 MP there. Won't get you very far. Yeah, I hate this menu. Always kind of just staring at it like, what do I do here? Sawney having a bit of trouble on the water floor, I think. Safety save! Yeah,
Okay.
there's the ethers.
Okay, he got it. Okay, he got it.
If
I
he
was
does
holding my
have to
breath
wipe,
there.
though, he will have to remember to do that again.
No, he saved afterward. I think he was about to save and then realized he
right,
didn't
okay.
ether, so took the save again afterward.
So, we're just going into the final Chaos fight in a very respectable time, about 125.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I don't think we're quite within the usual range. I think if everything goes okay here...
No, Sonic.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not
Cleric
gonna say
will
it.
need to tonic up his ninja and mage there. Although on Sonny's side, Sonny got a extra level in there and got his ninja to 316.
Ooh,
so
lovely.
that will actually save him a little bit of setup on the ninja as well. So
Not sure it will be enough though.
yeah, with the Blizzard start on Cleric's side, that's what's it called? One of Chaos's kinder starts. So
It could be his kind of start, or it could be him being his absolute worst. Let's see.
let's see. Yeah, if Chaos starts turboing through those spells, Cleric might be in for some trouble.
Oh dear. Oh, okay.
So that's slower on the ninja. So slower in. So he
That's the
will have
worst
to
you can get.
reapply that because the ninja is now basically back down to his normal attack state because he was previously hasted.
Oh dear.
That's
okay,
3 turns in a row of spells.
Yeah. He's also doing his Kiraja cycle very quickly. Kiraja, absolutely
Sonny
not something
didn't
you want to
safety
see.
save. I really hope he did his menus because if Sonny did his menus, he either did it way early or super fast, and I didn't catch any of it.
I can't blame him. That was, fair play.
Yeah.
But okay, so Chaos doing a physical there. I think we're out of Kiraja range now.
No, Kiraja is his next spell.
Is it next? Oh!
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So Cleric is on a bit of a clock here. No matter what happens, if Chaos decides to cast a spell, it will be Kiraja, and Kiraja heals Chaos for 9,999.
Okay, no, we got a Blaze.
The other option too is that Sonny did get another Hermes shoes from the 15 puzzle.
Nice!
That's a physical start also for Sonny as well. So that's a good opener. So Sonny might be able to save a few turns on setup here.
Oh, this is terrifying! No Kiraja! Oh, no Kiraja!
These long skill animations though aren't much better because they do waste a lot of time. So depending on how Cleric finishes out this competition.
But
Let's
if we
see
get that
here.
Kiraja, it would definitely be possible. Oh,
That is
no,
G-
here we go!
That is
GG!
GG. Yeah.
Woo! And 127.51! Holy
Yeah.
crap, that's a great time.
Cleric finishing out official SRL 127.53.
That is an incredible time, and GreenCleric should be extremely proud of that. Also,
I think that's a new
Thanks to one
PB
of
for
our
him,
fans.
actually. I think that is a new PB for him because
Oh,
I think his
wow.
previous PB was a low 128.
any time to pull that out would be now.
Yeah, no. I mean, holy cow! What a race. Yeah, let's see if Sonny will be finishing out here soon as I'm double checking.
Yeah, we've
Cleric's
gone back
times
to
here.
we've gone back to slideshow mode.
All
So,
right.
do you want to pull out that loot about now and sing the Chaos theme?
That is time for Sonny. Official SRL 128.57. So about 1 minute finish there. 1 minute behind, but hey, what
That's
a
still an
finish!
amazing time.
Yeah. GG to both of our runners. This was an incredible race throughout, as both of our runners are getting set up here. We'll see if we can get them to him because, no, this is nothing to be ashamed of as far as race is concerned.
It's a shame that we couldn't have seen more of it because wow, Must have been really good on Sony's side as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty fantastic. So yeah, I believe we have got GreenCleric and Sony coming in.
Yep. And
Hi,
let us welcome in
guys!
both of our runners.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, congrats! That was amazing.
GG to both of you.
Yeah.
GreenCleric, congratulations on your win. Sony, way to put up one hell of a fight. Way to make this game. This was a hell of a game 5, man.
This was the game 5 I was expecting, and just as a heads up, that chaos fight was a gold split.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I mean,
My
you were
chaos
hell
fight-
for leather.
Yeah, my chaos fight was the one where he ran through all 3 spells at the start, so it's, oh, Kiraka's coming up.
We were
And he
scared the
held
whole
off.
time.
He held off.
Yeah, no, that was like that was chaos going. I can push this button that will heal me for half HP anytime I want now.
He could have actually ruined your final. If he just changed his mind, he would have been like, nah, I like Sony better.
It's a good thing you only have a 33% chance of that happening.
Oh yeah, that was a little. I mean, I wasn't really looking because again, Sony unfortunately had those issues, but I know they resolved. But I was just kind of looking. I just glanced right before chaos. I saw, okay, he's in water, so I'm like, okay, as long as he doesn't kill the black mage, it's a win. And as long as everything gets off, and chaos really wanted to try ruin the PB in that, but.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
don't
gonna
know what
say,
to say.
never forget Kiraja. Kiraja always a possibility.
Never mind Kiraja. When he opens the first 3 turns with spells, I'm like, oh god, he's going to flare us, and we're gonna have a reset. Then all of a sudden, all this lead doesn't matter, and it's just a matter of whose chaos is stupider is going to determine this race.
Forget the flare. Forget the flare. He's gonna use haste first.
Yeah,
Use his
and then just punch
then-
everybody to death.
And then you're punched, you're dead. Simple.
But luckily, that's not what we had today. Sonia, do you want to tell us a little bit about what happened when we couldn't see you? Any terrible moments? Any wonderful moments?
Yeah. About that, I lost about 2 minutes due to a paralock in Ice Cave because I mismenued.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
So, like, my 33-37 Lich, which is actually pretty decent, then rebounded into a 44-56 Levistone grab, and I grabbed
Oh
Levistone
my goodness.
after grind.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But
No,
then,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but then I had just an amazing Castle Ordeals or Citadel of Trials, and made up 56 seconds of that.
Oh wow! Fantastic.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say because you're updating us in the SRL, and I was just like, okay, GreenCleric's class changing at about 51, 48, 5150, and then Sony chimes in, I just class changed at 5157. I'm just like, wait, you were a minute behind at the airship. What happened?
Also, at one point you were like, "Oh, I'm dead now," and we're like, "Whoa, what?" Oh no, it was a paralock. I'm alive. Oh, okay, all right then.
we're good. Don't worry. No, actually, I would have died because my thief was the only character up. He wasn't getting out of paralysis, so I just reset.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, sometimes that's the best option.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, you're gonna lose time, but it's like, do I want to lose a little time or a lot of time? At that point, it's just basically same thing. Like when you're running, like, you have random encounter at sea or something. It's like Sahagins. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna judgment staff them. I'm not gonna run the risk of losing a minute.
Like you can take a bit of time to do something you know will kill them, or just hope that you can get away, or possibly lose loads of time. Yeah, that's one of the things about doing this run, just making those judgment calls.
Especially in a race setting.
Mm-hmm. No, and especially in a race setting where this is for all the marbles, and I cannot praise both of you enough. Just as a testament to both of your decision making throughout this run. nobody had more than a minute lead at any point over the other throughout this whole race. You guys were back and forth fighting this whole time. This was one hell of a game 5.
Yeah, looking at when Sowney was updating, again, it was back and forth. I know Earth was excellent for me. That's pretty much where I made up most of my time. It looked like on all the Fiend splits he was giving, I was maintaining a lead about 30 seconds a minute, but I really wasn't confident in that, nor should I be. Chaos Temple was good. That was actually really solid. Again, just going up to the final, Chaos fight. Obviously he wanted to try be a little bit of a troll, but I mean, I'm just a little shocked because this is not something where you enter the tournament and then you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna do good. I'm just gonna have some fun, Now I'm in the finals, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were 25 of us at the beginning, and now you're down to final 2. How'd you feel?
Not what I was expecting. I mean, especially again, it's not obviously I've done really well. I've PB'd a few times in the tournament. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable in that. But it's still, I mean, it is a bit of a crapshoot. I mean, let's be honest, this game. But again, in a race setting, it's decision making. I mean, there's still points in this run where you can lose a minute, not because of the game, but because I'm going to take this chance. Odds are against me. If it works, great. If it doesn't, maybe it was better just to take the 15-second time loss than the minute time loss. So I'm really happy with the decision making in that. But I mean, Sowney, that was you said it was going to go to game 5 the whole way. At the start, he was like, yeah, this is going game 1. You're saying 5 games, but that was incredible. I mean, great job. I mean, even if I had lost that one, I mean, like I said, if I had lost, it wouldn't have been because of, it would have been, I hope it just wouldn't have been because of my fault or anything, but you did great. I mean, all tournament, I mean, hats off.
I do appreciate that, and you've had extremely good, extremely consistent runs throughout the entire tournament, and consistency is a big thing going into these, and it's definitely been on your side. It's shown, and in these 5 games, it really showed how consistent you are. And yeah, I made a very bold statement at game 1 saying this was going to game 5, but I stood by my guns on that one. And this couldn't be a better way for me to go out of the tournament. I mean, I got my 126 against Box, which honestly was my goal for this category. Now I think I can push it to a 125, but I don't have to focus solely on the tournament. I'm looking forward to your performance in the finals. And like I said in IRC, give Yoshi hell.
I'm gonna try. I mean, he's had a great tournament too. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, and no disrespect to anybody here, and no disrespect, but you look at all the great runners that have been in the tournament, runners that have really great PBs, runners that have world records and that in this tournament, and
you got crushed by Yoshi. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but all those runners who got crushed by Yoshi and knocked out the tournament,
exactly,
they must be so upset.
Oh my god, they're dying. But I mean, but in all honesty, though, at the start of the tournament, even when they were going, oh, here's the final 16 and that, in all honesty, I don't think anybody would have picked me to go to the finals, and I don't blame anybody. I also don't think a lot of people were thinking this was going to be the final 2. I mean, this is just how crazy this whole tournament's been, and how runners are using some different strategies. You gotta make a lot of great decision making. I mean, this is going to be a great final.
I would just like to point out, I'm looking at the challenge predictions on the bracket. Anybody who submitted a prediction, nobody's top 2 is correct anymore.
Oh no.
Some people. Okay, Cleric, you have yourself in top 3. and you're in final 2, so you're technically right, and you're still technically wrong on that. But like, nobody's top 4 makes sense on any of these things. They're like, this entire tournament was just like, hey, here are all these. It's like we're gonna arrange all this nice, pristine silverware. These are our nice predictions, and then all the newcomers come in and just kick the table over.
It's not even that. It's newcomers or, people like myself that have done this a couple times and just had fun in that. But it's like, it's like you're looking at these bracket predictions. You're like, who are these people? Poor Sky, Double Drop, Cruel. Who are these people?
Yes.
This person here, Kibetha.
Well, who is Kibetha?
That's a good question.
The Lady of the Warmech.
Yes.
I still take blame for that.
No, but this has just been a crazy turn. I mean, like, I think the finals, I think they're going to be worth watching. I mean, these were great
absolutely.
races that Sawney and I had. I mean, this is not going to be a final. I really don't think this is going to be where someone's winning by 6 minutes or somebody's forfeiting, 20 minutes in or something like that.
No forfeiting allowed. No forfeiting in the finals.
No, I've based on how I've seen Yoshi race. Yoshi, like, as much as possible, they try to play safe when possible. They'll take the safety saves even in a race setting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so it's going to be really similar to my style, and again, consistency as well. I mean, I think it's going to be, no super risk taking or anything like that, but it's going to be very interesting once.
Yep. Any idea kind of when you might be arranging your first match?
I'm gonna talk to Yoshi and find out. I didn't want to reach out and go, hey, when do you want? Because then I'm thinking myself, it's the curse. It's like, let's schedule our first couple matches. Okay, and then I would message him and message Yoshi back. Now I'd go, hey, Yoshi, no, you're gonna have to talk to Sawney. Forget everything I said. It was I messaged the wrong person. Sorry.
Well, hopefully that'll be in the next week or so, and we can all tune in for
hopefully
that awesomeness.
hopefully we'll know AS.
But I guess we should do any.
Final shout outs,
final
shout outs, you
shout-outs.
guys.
I'm good. I mean, thanks to both of you for giving Game 5 double comm action. Can't wait to go back and listen to what I'm sure was riveting analysis of one stream and another stream that was 2 frames a second. 2 frames a minute. 2 frames a minute.
Go on.
Two frames a second. I think it was more, maybe like 2 seconds a frame.
2 seconds a frame.
No.
2 minutes
No.
of frame.
It was more like virtual highlight.
Yeah,
Oh,
60
God.
frames.
One frame every 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Yep.
Oh god, that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah. I have no idea what was going on with my internet for the first hour of this run. Like, when I saw I was having issues while we were setting up in the race room, I was just like, no. Do not give me bad news now. Do not put me on tilt. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not paying attention to it anymore. I gotta focus.
Yeah, that's the best way to do. Yeah, I'm glad you managed to do that, because it would suck if it had been distracting you.
I checked on
I mean,
it.
you can just say it was distracting you. Like that's why you lost.
No.
It's definitely
not
the
why I
internet's
lost.
fault.
I lost because my execution wasn't very great. That paralock in Ice Cave definitely cost me way too much time, and if I hadn't gotten that paralock and managed to actually menu properly, we might have been much closer on the finish. If not, the finish may have been different, but that's not what happened,
Yeah,
which is
it
fine.
was.
I mean, even still, I made it into the top 4. This is my first tournament for this. I played my heart out to the best of my ability,
Yeah,
and
you did
even
fantastic.
finishing 1 minute and 4 seconds behind Green, it's still an extremely close race. I mean, we were so close for so much of the race.
No, it was. I mean, like I said, you got nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, the time you put up still a good time. That time would have won a lot of races
Yeah,
in
I
this
was
tournament
gonna
so
say.
far.
It's
So
not even a matter of not being ashamed. Be proud, because you did an amazing job.
Oh, I'm far from ashamed.
So yeah, I guess just the usual thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us, and we got a max of 5 matches left in this entire tournament, which is so exciting. So yeah, thanks guys. 5 matches left.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks to our runners for being amazing, and I guess tune in when we know when the final is going to be.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. We're coming up on the finals. It'll be another best of 5. You know, GG's to Sawneyrath. You know, put one hell of a way to go out of this tournament. Congratulations to Cleric. Good luck to you on your match against Yoshi. But
thank you very much.
yeah, I think
thanks
that'll do
everyone
it for
thanks everyone for watching.
All right. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.